Copyrighting an individual move, like the moonwalk, would be like the equivalent of granting ownership over an individual word or musical note.
Wow, his analysis is so good, it's like it comes from a real lawyer.
People are asking, can you choreograph a dance move, referring to the move sort of like a chord within the context of a song.
It's like it comes from a real lawyer. Real lawyer.
Real lawyer.
And what am I, chopped liver?
He's a lawyer, a father takes a taxi, not an Uber. He's Viva Frei, your favorite YouTuber.
Okay, so let's let the LegalEagle dude break down the drama for us. Oh, you're stuck. Hold on. Okay, go.
So when my friends were asking me whether Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air could actually state a claim against the makers of FortNite for stealing the Carlton dance, I researched the Copyright Act and all of the relevant case law. 8 days after I released my video, MatPat of the Game Theorists released his own video on a...
Alright, LegalEagle is taking too long and I've got a short attention span. Here's a breakdown of the timeline of the drama. January 5th, LegalEagle puts out a video calling out Game Theory or Game Theorist MatPat? Whatever, you know who I'm talking about, for making a 2 milli FortNite dispute summary video that plagiarizes off LegalEagle's video from December 22nd. The idea being that there's so much information that doubles over between the Game Theory's video and LegalEagle's video that Game Theory stole the format, details, information from LegalEagle's video. You know what the only problem is? I made a video about it on December 13th.
Being able to copyright dances is a relatively recent development, codified in 1976,
with choreography only being able to be copyrighted as recently as 1976.
Dance moves, more eloquently referred to as choreography, are protected by copyright. It was added to the United States Copyright Act in 1976.
A song is always going to be made up of non-copyrightable notes.
Copyrighting an individual move, like the moonwalk, would be like the equivalent of granting ownership over an individual word or musical note.
People are asking, can you choreograph a dance move, referring to the move sort of like a chord within the context of a song? And the obvious answer to that is no, you can't copyright a chord. You can't even copyright C major progressing to F major, but you can copyright a song which is a series of progressions of chords or notes.
So, did MatPat infringe the copyright of my original video in a video about stealing other people's IP? MatPat's analysis is very similar to my own, and it's very coincidental that his video came out almost exactly a week after mine did.
Circumstantial evidence.
That's right, over a week and a half before LegalEagle even made his video that he thinks might have been ripped off by Game Theory. Is it Game Theory or Game Theorist? Hold on one second. Okay, it's Game Theorists. Over a week and a half before LegalEagle even made his video. Yes?
The person is so off tune.
I'm kind of doing a vlog now.
Don't care.
Over a week and a half before LegalEagle even made his video, I made my analysis of the 2 milli FortNite copyright dispute. If we put those pieces together, the similarities between all three videos is striking.
The really funny thing is that LegalEagle actually tweeted me out a couple of days ago with his video and the Game Theorists videos asking me if he thinks I had a case, and I responded to him, you can't copyright information, knowledge, or data. Although I did like his video better than the Game Theorists video. And I stand by both of those answers. You can't copyright data, knowledge, or information. And I did like LegalEagle's video better than the Game Theorists. No!
Damn camera has fallen off. One time too many. Yes, sorry, Bob. Mwah. Do I believe the Game Theorists copied off of LegalEagle? No more than I believe that the LegalEagle copied off of my video, which was posted almost 10 days earlier. The thing is that there's only so many ways to skin a cat. Sorry to use an expression that Pete is gonna hate. There's only so many ways you can properly describe copyright law. You will have to reference the 1976 Copyright Act. You will have to reference the analogy between notes in a song and the song in and of itself. This question really is nothing more than a research project. It would be like doing a research project on whales and then claiming that someone ripped off your information because they also said that the blue whale is the largest animal to have ever lived in the history of the earth. Interesting fact, and it's true, a lot of adults don't even know this, the blue whale is bigger than even the biggest of dinosaurs. And even the structural similarities between the two videos, again, there's only so many ways to provide the factual information that you are going to get from researching the question. Do I think that the Game Theorists might have been inspired by LegalEagle's video? Possibly. In the same way that anyone who does research is inspired by the information that they find and while doing their research. And an interesting side note, there's a concept in art called spontaneous creation, which is that of two artists spontaneously coming up with the same or very similar idea at the same time without one ripping the other off. The best example of this is Cubism. Everyone always attributes the birth of Cubism to Pablo Picasso, but it's a lesser known fact that Georges Braque also came up with it and was a co-creator of Cubism. He didn't rip off Pablo Picasso. They spontaneously had something of a similar idea at roughly the same time, and they created an art movement out of it without one ripping off the other. Bringing that analogy back to this 2 milli FortNite dance, it is entirely foreseeable that people, in preparing an answer to this question, are going to come up with something that is structurally, factually, and information-wise very similar from one to the other just by virtue of spontaneous creation of that answer to the question. The most interesting thing to me in all of this is the response from the Game Theorists that is a pinned comment on LegalEagle's video. This response. There are a few things on Earth that I would bet money on, and I would bet money that this response from the Game Theorist was drafted by an attorney, and a good one at that. Just go ahead and read that response, because it's phenomenally fantastic.
And I quote,
"Hey LegalEagle, just wanted to come in here and address the issues you raised against me and my video. You'll notice being a well-drafted response by an intelligent attorney, it starts off very casually, very informally, very friendly-like, the way people would talk to each other on the street.
Let's carry on.
We started research into our episode on the FortNite dances November 21st when 2 milli issues started to really take off, with the V1 draft being finished December 12th, over a week before your video was posted. Being a litigator and a lawyer, my wheels start turning right now. I am going into evidentiary cross-examination mode. If there were prior drafts, I would like to see those prior drafts. I would like to see the drafts before LegalEagle's video and the drafts after LegalEagle's video, to see how the drafts may have been modified pre-LegalEagle to post-LegalEagle. I would take this approach if I believed there was an actual serious issue at hand, one that required litigation, which I don't believe, so I'm just gonna turn that reflex off of the back of my head. All that to say, this is not a real legal issue, it's just fun drama on the internet. Let's go on. Over the last year, since we started covering more legal issues in the entertainment space, we've brought on consulting lawyers to help educate us on relevant case law. Now, you knew that they were going to say that they consulted with a real lawyer on this, and the fact of the matter is, even if they read legal reviews on the 2 milli FortNite dispute, that is legal advice that they have appropriated as their own knowledge. And this is the beautiful thing about knowledge, is that once it's shared, once it's imparted on somebody else, you can't take it back, and you can't claim to have copyright IP protection over the knowledge that you willingly imparted on somebody else. That's why knowledge is the gift that you can never take back. Think about that. All right, whatever, this is taking too long. Let's get to the last paragraph because that's the only one that I really love. It's disappointing to see that you, as a respected professional in your field, would jump to conclusions based purely off of circumstantial evidence, telling your audience I, quote, ripped you off, end quote, instead of addressing this to me in a private forum first and asking for my stance. How do I know that that was drafted by a lawyer, and a good lawyer? An average, mediocre, or bad lawyer would immediately take an aggressive stance. How dare you slander me in the public? I'm gonna sue you for defamation, libel, take that video down, you had no business doing that, blah, 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 blah. Blind rage, and blind rage is never good. There may be some rage in this, but this is calculated, making the victim and not making the victim become the victimizer. And this happens a lot in law and in life. Someone who is in fact a victim becomes the victimizer because they lash out in rage, thereby going from victim to victimizer of somebody else or their initial victimizer to begin with. In law, you always want to take the high road, and in law, you always want to draft as though a judge is going to read what you've drafted, because in litigation, more often than not, a judge will end up reading what you wrote, and if you lash out in anger and say silly things in rage, a judge will read them at the end of the day and it will reflect poorly on you. With this response, someone clearly took a step back and said, whoa, we don't want to become a victimizer in this. We don't want to start throwing out massive accusations, threats, and the like. We just want to make sure that the world sees us as a victim. I'm very disappointed to see that you reacted this way. A respected professional, you should know better. It's guilt, it's shaming, it's making the victim look even more like a victim and the victimizer even more like a bully. I say this, and again, I'm gonna go back. I couldn't care less on the substance of any of this. I take this as a joke. I don't think LegalEagle was serious in his video. That said, I say it with the benefit of not being the object or on the receiving end of his video. All that to say, chill out with the drama. It's a new year, 2019. Make friends, not enemies. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and peace out.